Alrighty, welcome back to the Red Corner. You guys asked for a mailbag, so we said let's do trade deadline mailbag, guys. Boys, how we doing?
Pretty good. Phillies had a good weekend. Another series win against the AL East New York Yankees.
Oh
Took two
yeah,
of three. Just their third series now against the AL. Still got four more to go.
yeah.
So in second place, Mets playing now. Either way, if they win or lose, Phillies are still going to be in second place. But setting up a big week with the deadline on Thursday.
Big week.
Where the Phillies are going to go. So, see what he's got for us.
That's exactly right. And we have an entire. So thank you in advance, guys. Thank you in advance for all the submissions. We're going to get to as many as we can today. And it's going to be a little bit of trade deadline focused. Obviously, as Bone just alluded to, we got the trade deadline coming up here on the 31st. If you're here with us, please hit that subscribe button. We've had a monster week. Thank you to everyone very much for hitting that button and helping us out. Slim, before we get too in the weeds on the Phils, man, let's bring the listeners in on. You're deep into wedding planning season, right? I know you were going hard in the paint this past weekend. So
Yeah.
how's everything going on that front?
Well, I'm feeling great. The wedding planning's going great. I got the live guitars for the cocktail hour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got it. He's letting us create their personal playlist for that. I had to check in on the flowers. I'm paying more for flowers than I think I paid for the diamond ring. But we're getting married, and we were at the location, and we bumped into one of and shout out to him. He was a great guy in person, but we bumped into the Barstool notorious ex-employee Jeff Nato, and he is
right?
Nadeau. Is that how you say
Yeah.
it, Nadeau? Hey, I'm sorry. I'm always reading it online. But yeah, super duper generous. Anytime, bud, if you want to come hang out, subscribe to the Red Corner, show us you subscribe, and we got you at a tailgate anytime. Make a comment. We can get you those tickets. We have an event coming up soon. When is our next tailgate? We'll be getting all that soon. But I think we only have a couple more.
August 22nd.
We got August 22nd, and then we're talking playoffs soon. So it's getting real close to that time. So
Floppy hat giveaway.
But yeah, I was. You couldn't not spot the man, the myth, the legend. You know, I had to leave my bride to be, but she understood. She gets how networking goes. But yeah, it was a great pleasure. Everyone's enjoying themselves down here at the Jersey Shore, especially down in the Wildwood area.
Well, Bones and I are very excited for your wedding, but we also have another Slim-related event coming up in only a few weeks, which we're going to talk about. Chat, we see you guys. We're going to get to all your comments, but this is how the show is going to go. We're going to go one by one and tackle all your submitted questions. We're going to hit all of our usual segments, but let's start off here with our first question that was submitted. All right, guys. So this is from Tom. If you had to just pick one position group, would you choose bullpen or bat as far as the trade? So if you had to pick one, what do you think, Bones?
So my position on this probably changed since.
What is it, baby? What's the position?
We just did the deadline thing the other day, and this is a picking up steam. That's Eugenio Suarez, third base. I mean, right? It wasn't long after the show when the Yankees traded for Ryan McMahon, right? So that basically put them out of position to get Suarez, and now we're just reading it might be down to the Phillies and the Cubs head to head for this guy, and we've seen Schwarber play left field today.
Not too gracefully, but he got the job done, right?
Yeah, he was out there. Let's just say that. And I don't know why not put him at the DH role or once Bone comes back, he'll move to the DH role,
right?
And then we can go from there. But yeah, that's a big bat. I mean, he leads the majors in RBI. Schwarber's not far behind him, obviously, and he's got 36 homers. He's 4 behind Cal Raleigh in that category. He's a rental player for now, but we'll see what the Phillies can do with it if they can get the job done.
I'm 100% with Bones. It's absolutely a bat. Let me name you the relievers who I somewhat trust in the playoffs to get something done as long as they're used correctly. Robertson, Lazard. I trust Banks. I trust Kerkering. I trust Strom. I'm going to be trusting Painter. I just named 6 guys right there. That's plenty of guys. You might be able to get another throw-in player, right, in a deal coming up. So I'm 100% with Bones. It's definitely a bat. I love the idea of Suarez. I love the idea of getting him and maybe even holding on to Miller, Painter, and Crawford, meaning we're just giving up Abel and maybe another prospect who falls outside the top 10 tier that a lot of people are floating around out there. But here's the question, Bones, and you alluded to it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If we get Suarez, I said the last episode, we talked about it briefly, he gets slotted in as the DH, which means Schwarber's getting back into left field. Do you want to elaborate on that? Do you believe, because that's what's going around now. Do you put Bohm at first base as you suggested and we talked about, or do we keep Suarez, or do you keep Bohm at first base and Suarez at DH? What does the lineup look like with Suarez?
You mean Bohm at third base, correct?
Bohm at third base, correct.
Okay.
Yes,
Right.
yes. You have 2 options. You can have Bohm at third base and Suarez DH, right?
Correct.
Which probably means you have a wonky left fielder, maybe Schwarber is looking like, or maybe Harper, depending what we're going to do there. Or do you go with Suarez at third base, Bohm at first base, right? I think I'm pro Suarez as a DH.
Yeah, Bones.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that, like I just said, but if we throw Bohm at first base, right? Or wait, Suarez at first. I don't think he'll play first base.
Not Suarez.
No, Suarez would either be the DH or third base, and I think we're leaning.
Harper would stay at first base if Suarez is the DH.
Yeah, Schwarber in the outfield, I think is the most sense. Suarez at DH. Like, there's no other way. But now, if Bohm was playing a worse third, like if he was playing a bad third base, move him over to first base. But he's playing awesome,
right?
And that's where the come in. Like, let's put Harper's money where his mouth is,
right?
And move him to the outfield like he's what he said he would. For the right player. But it just them dynamics don't add up for Suarez. He would just be DH or third base.
Yeah, and I think the fact of the matter is the Phillies are going to say the guy hit 36 home runs, we're going to just make it work, right? Like, I think that's the way they're going to view it, right? If we can add that additional power into this lineup that really, really needs it, we're going to sacrifice, and Slim, you made this point last week, we're okay sacrificing a little bit of defense for a lot of offense. So,
yeah, but with that point being made, I think we should stay with the pieces of Bohm at third base because he has shown that he's basically a plus there now, and same thing with Harper there in the corner. I don't think you mess that up because they're consistent on defense, and that's going to help drive them on offense. And we see that we need both of them. If we don't have Harper, look how the offense looks now compared to how it's looked all year when Harper's not himself. So I wouldn't really mess with Harper anywhere else. I would keep him at first base. I would keep Bohm at third base because we're like he's done everything we wanted him to do. He's been through like I said, he's been through everything. So keep him there. Let him be consistent. Don't let him worry about anything else, and then you figure it out. I wouldn't trade Bohm. Bohm wouldn't be in any of these trades discussions. I'm keeping Bohm.
100%. All right, so Tom, to answer your question, it seems like we're leaning bad at this point. So
100% bad.
All right, so chat, let's acknowledge some of the live chat activity. If you guys have any questions, as always, shout them out. We got Shane saying Slim giving the Heat Miser vibes right now.
Yeah.
Is that the OG orange shirt?
This is the OG Exit 6 North Wildwood orange shirt. We're up in the safe house now at an
Nice.
undisclosed location somewhere in North Wildwood.
Awesome. All right, so BD Jones saying he wants bullpen. Shout out to you, BD Jones. Always love to see you. And Steve G saying Middleton needs to be a man of his word. He wants his bleeping trophy back. I feel that, brother.
Middleton does that. They can't be afraid to go over any kind of luxury tax, any kind of payment, stuff like that. You gotta be willing to absorb another big contract, especially with contracts coming off the books these next couple years.
100%. Let's move on to our next question here. We've heard a lot about the prospects being traded. What about some of our MLB players? The Suarez rumors really died down. This is from Paul. Want to start off with this one, Bones?
We heard about it. All right.
So basically, do you think?
Yeah, I don't think any of our MLB players are going to get traded. Will some of them get cut? Damn, hope so. We talked about that the other night with Kepler and Romano.
Right.
But I don't think any of the big club pieces are going to get traded. And if it is, it might be like a Kepler because we know he might get cut. Just to throw him on some team, sweeten the deal a little bit. I don't know.
Right.
But other than that, I don't see it happening.
At this point with Kepler, we're at the old fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, or fool me once, shame on you. Well, I sound like George Bush now. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I don't think any team's going to want to trade for Kepler. He's going to have to get DFA'd.
So funny. Let's talk about the last point that he mentioned here in this question, that the Ranger Suarez rumors really died down a lot, right? Because it's interesting. I want to say around June, early June, if you would have asked all three of us, I think we would have gave a much different response on if we thought Ranger was going to get traded this year. So my question for you guys is, what do you think is the biggest factor in us leaning towards, it seems like Rangers not getting traded now? Do you think it's A, Luzardo struggling, or B, Ranger being pretty damn good this year? What do you guys think about those two?
It's more so that he's pretty damn good. There's no doubt about it. Without, he's too good, and we need him.
We need him. Right.
We need him. Right. At this point, he's looking like he's going to be the third starter in the postseason. At worst, he's going to be the fourth starter. At worst, he's probably going to be the key piece out the bullpen, So, no, we need him. And it's just an unfortunate thing. We saw last year, look at the Yankees with Juan Soto, right? That's the biggest example. Sometimes you just got to bite bullets you don't want to.
100%.
So I agree with Slim, and I'm going to play the other side of it just for this one. And I think it has to do with the injuries and the way Luzardo has pitched in the last month and a half. Mm-hmm. Luzardo hasn't been good. Can't pitch out of the stretch at all. Don't know what it is. We hear talking about when people are on base, it's like he's got the yips, and he's just going back to old habits. And then you deal with Painter has yet to come up, right? And we heard that June-ish thing all year. He's still not up. Pitched better the other night, which is good. And that could be a bullpen piece we use. And also, we don't know where we're going to get when Noel comes back off the DL. He's going to be pitching in a rehab start on Thursday.
Right.
So it's all like bunched together. But like I said, I agree with Chris with it's the way Suarez has been pitching better. And let's just hope it lasts. And it's not like he hits that amount of innings he usually does in the last couple of years and takes a dip, which is still shaky right now.
And we got to make sure we get Nola up fast before it starts to cool down. He only has a short window here where it's nice and hot for him to pitch.
100%. Yeah, Bones, so you mentioned Luzardo and the yips. I mean, is that what we think it is? I was at that game. I was sitting there with my wife. And honestly, it was a beautiful night at the bank, right? Weather was perfect. Everybody hit a homer, it felt like. It was Schwarber, it was Harper. And then I'm sitting there, I think at that point he actually had a no-hitter going into that inning, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He had a no-hitter. I'm sitting there. It's 5-0, and there was a Red Sox fan sitting directly in front of me, right? And the Red Sox have great fan base. We all know this. But they're down 5-0 at this point. I think they started that inning with Yoshida hitting a double. I think that was the first base runner they got. And this guy jumped up like they just won the World Series. So I look over at my wife and I say, "Oh man, amateur hour here. Like, calm down," because it was a ridiculous reaction. And then I'm like, she's like, "What do you mean?" It's like they're down 5-0. Well, joke was on me because that inning was the inning that never went away, right? Because they just like walk after walk after walk, and then the unthinkable obviously happens with the homer. Yeah, I have no faith in the guy right now. It's just one of those things that I didn't think it was even possible.
Well, the big moment with that was they paused the action. I think it was the second baseman or the shortstop came in. They noticed something. There was a brief mound visit, and then the very next pitch, was it Remy Gonzalez? Absolutely cranked that pitch. Literally the very next pitch.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Luzardo, man, earlier in the year, I haven't seen him, and I'm calling him out. Jerry, Red Rider Jerry, where are you at? What is up with your boy Luzardo? And here's my question again. I don't think Luzardo's stuff lends itself out the bullpen. People think he's automatically going to tick up 2 to 3 miles per hour once he's in there, and he's going to be better than what he is now. Slim's not buying it. I think he's just like, I think he's a Walmart version of Ranger Suarez, basically.
Well, especially with the fact that he doesn't like having people on base. Right, his performance, his production is just night and day.
Without the defense and all that stuff. Yeah, no, I'm talking about. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's terrible.
Yeah. Speaking of
the other thing along with that, after like the guy gets on the bases, like it starts to get to his head. We've seen that ball, the pop up behind home plate. JT couldn't find it. Teammates in the dugout pointing like there it is, and Luzardo's sitting there standing above home plate, and the ball drops in between them behind home plate where he could have
made a play on the ball.
Had the out, and whole inning changes after that. You know what I mean? It's just little things like that come back to haunt you.
100%.
Along with the walks.
And I got to shout out the new rules. Having the pitch clock, it speeds up the game. It speeds up your IQ. A guy like Luzardo could probably max some of his deficiencies with not being able to hold players on. But with the pitch clock, it intensifies it. So that's why I like all these new rules in the MLB, as a little side note.
Nah, 100%. Going back to your point on the bullpen, we got Shawnee K in the chat saying he needs Strom to be a 5 or 6 inning type dude. Shane R saying Ranger was being elite this year. Brianna in the chat saying the Phillies Game 7 40 man. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to there. You want to elaborate, Brianna? And then Joe checking in with Joey D in the chat saying that Cora picked up something on Luzardo before the grand slam. Looked at his reaction. Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
he celebrated.
Right. That's
like
what I was just. Yep.
Yeah,
it was
all
crazy.
over that. That video was awesome. If you're a Red Sox fan, absolutely sucked for us. But let's move on to our next question here. Chat, keep it coming because we appreciate the. Some of this stuff's obviously going to have some overlap here. So, level of concern surrounding the recent Ranger trends and the Wheeler funk. Slim, where are you at on that?
So it's funny. As I'm posting on my Facebook to all the Red Riders and my family and friends,
yeah,
that's what's in the back of my head. Luzardo, 100% don't trust. Ranger, I don't trust Luzardo because what's the big red flag? It's the innings, right? He's past his where he was at last year, and we're starting to see him unwind. He's been inconsistent all year. Great here, terrible the next day. His ERA is probably pushing 5 now. I'm also super duper concerned with Ranger. I wasn't, but Bones convinced me to be concerned for the same reasons. He's surpassing the amount of innings he's pitched last year. He's starting to approach that amount. So that's a big threshold if we want to admit it or not. So yeah, I'm super duper concerned with Ranger, super duper concerned with Luzardo, but worst of all and I can't believe this. This is something that's going to be living in my mind and my consciousness for the rest of the season. I had somebody tweeted me and was saying how Wheeler is untouchable, and I'm like, yo, dude, like not like same thing I try to tell you guys with Skeens and these other pitchers. Like they get hit, and they lose games. They're all human, They're not all Roy Holidays, right? And since this guy was jumping down my throat, telling me that Zach Wheeler was the greatest of all time,
Yeah.
basically saying he couldn't ever get touched. His last couple starts, he hasn't had it at all. I think he's let up over 4 runs both times. I mean, he hasn't been terrible. He always settles down. He's a master of his craft. But 4 earned runs is a losing outing most of the time, and I think that's what we got the last 2 times. And yeah, there's more to those numbers. But yeah, I'm concerned that Wheeler's not elite. I think he's even lost the ERA lead on the team. So anyone who has Cy Young tickets, you can take your Cy Young tickets and tear them up and put them in the trash, because there's 2 things now. He doesn't even lead the Phillies in ERA, and he's going to be splitting votes for sure now with Sanchez. So I'm sorry for all those people who banged Wheeler for Cy Young. I think you can throw those in the trash. I never seen the Cy Young winner have outings like the last 2 outings, and I definitely never seen Roy Halladay have outings in his prime like the last 2 outings.
Well said. Bones.
I'm not concerned at all. Maybe a little bit with Ranger. We'll see how that goes in the next 3 starts,
Yeah.
and then we'll have a better answer on that. But as far as Wheeler, I'm not concerned at all. I mean, he's still one of the top 4 pitchers in baseball right now, and he's not number 4. But I seen the stat earlier, his ERA career at Yankee Stadium was 7.20, and that was after the game. I was like, all right, that kind of explains a little what happened today.
Right.
But there was no judge in the lineup. It's just one of them days where you don't have their stuff, and it comes back to haunt you.
Yeah, but I think so. Usually at this time of the year, when a really good pitcher starts to have a stretch, you start to hear the classic dead arm stuff. You start to hear are they hitting their innings limits, right? So with Ranger, I'm going to be convinced upon that a lot more easier, to your point, Bones, than I will be with Wheeler. Look, these guys are human. Sometimes they lose a little bit of confidence at different spurts of the year, and I think that might be where Wheeler's at. But yeah, man. So we got a couple nice questions here in the chat. I want to bounce over to you, Slim. So this is from Tim in the chat saying, do you think Stubbs will be called up when Nola comes back, since Nola generally pitches better with Stubbs?
No, because we're not allowed to put Marchand back in the minors without losing him, right? He has to clear waivers, I would think. Is that the situation there? I don't think with Marchand, I don't think we can. If we send him back to the minors, we risk losing him. I believe Bones might know more on that. Am I wrong there? So I think Stubbs is.
No, you're not wrong, but who cares? He stinks.
All right,
Yeah.
so you. All right, I think he's better than Stubbs at this point.
that experiment's over. And I kind of agree with the person that asked that. I thought it was going to happen when Painter came up.
Right.
I've seen that, and that's a cool idea. Hey, I'm not against it. I think the highlight of Marchand's year has been the second game he got in, where he got 4 walks, which was back in April. So yeah, Marchand hasn't had it. Quickly to circle back to Wheeler real fast, to say that not to be afraid is, I think he still had close to 17 strikeouts, 10 strikeouts, and 7 strikeouts versus the Yankees and Red Sox there. And he only had about 4 walks combined, so he still has a ton of strikeouts, not that many walks. So it could just, like you say, be a bad timing thing, a confidence thing. It looks like the strikeouts and the walk numbers are still there, which is a good sign.
It's a great sign. All right, guys, let's
Stubbs would be sick. Imagine Stubbs came back.
Vibes, chief vibes officer, baby. Let's transition to a little bit one of my digressions before we go to Feel the Love, our proud brewery sponsor. So this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about food shopping for a second here. And I want to hear with the red corner how your household views food shopping. And I want to see what the listeners view it. And where am I getting at? Number one, if you're married, if you're in some type of relationship, do you guys go with the army approach, meaning you both go to the grocery store at once? Or do you do one at a time where it's just you're the sole food shopping guy, or you rotate? Bones, you have the most experience here with the family, so let me start with you on that. How's your household run on that area?
So my wife Carissa, she usually does the shopping. She loves Target pickup orders. It's insane. I'm there like 3 times a week, and she's there the other 4. But that's just not just for that, just like little stuff like snacks and all that. But usually she does the food shopping.
Okay.
Like once a week she'll do it, and then if I feel like, because she works the way our schedules is, she's like 3 to 11 like during the week. So if I feel like something for dinner that we don't have, I'm going after work, picking it up, or if the kids recommend something, I'm doing that if we don't have it at the house. You know what I mean? Usually there's always something where I'm cooking or they want that we don't have, so I have to go around and get it anyway. And then it usually ends up with me buying a snack that me or them don't need.
So you guys maximize the efficiency. It sounds like where it's kind of she's doing a lot of the orders, and then you're picking them up. That's a pro move.
Yeah.
Slim, where are you guys at?
We got a pretty pro move down too. We categorize it, right? So my fiance, she goes to Trader Joe's on Monday. She goes to Aldi's on Tuesday. She goes to Costco on Wednesday, and she finishes up with Target Thursday. So every single day, my baby cakes is out bringing some kind of snacks and food back to Slim. You guys follow the Instagram. One thing I like to eat is food. You know, all types of soul food, all types of chocolates. I'm eating good, eating plenty.
That's funny because obviously, me personally, I always like to go food shopping. It's kind of one of those times where I would just zone out and then put on a podcast or something like that, right? But then when you go, and this is part of the reason I brought it up, when you go with somebody else, the entire experience is different, right? You're almost like it becomes more of a job at that point, right? More efficient.
Well, when I would go, I would go in, got the list, bam, 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 as fast as possible, try to get out. I wouldn't even have a podcast or anything in just because I'm trying to fly in and out.
Sure.
Anytime, food shopping, regular shopping, it's really hard unless like you're almost feeling like a kid again because you got to get a list of things so you can just separate yourself. If not, you're like a dog sniffing up a behind the whole time.
100%. We got some chat activity on this. So our boy Michael T in the chat saying that Costco is an experience for sure, and his wife basically handles all of those things.
Yep, I'm a member, never been. I'm a member and have never been.
Oh, we got our boy JR in the chat saying, great pod so far, fellas. He said it earlier. He wants to go all in this year. But if there is one prospect you wouldn't want to deal away, who is it? Anyway, I'll talk about my pick. So let's answer that. If there's one prospect that you wouldn't want to deal away, who is it, Bones?
I mean, it's the obvious one. It's Andrew Painter.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had a rough go of it the last month or so down in AAA.
Right.
But we got to remember this kid hasn't pitched in 2 years. Really intrigued by his start that he had the other night.
Right.
Especially given that this July-ish thing is going to be passing him. But he went out there, he gave up the gopher ball in the 6th inning. But other than that, he's seemed like his command was better than it's been. And that's what's really been hurting him, his command, giving some walks, and then he'll give up the gopher ball as usual. That's where most of his runs were given up this year. So
the homers, 100%.
Yeah. So it's all about that, and it's Andrew Painter. Keep him. He's going to be special.
Yo, I got to honestly disagree a little bit. I do believe Painter's our best prospect. I do believe he's our biggest diamond. But with that being said, I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now. I think Crawford is a guy who can play right now and contribute to a World Series championship team as a starter right now. So even Painter at his best and Crawford as a center fielder who can also hit 300 as an everyday player, that's going to be a close That's going to be a close battle. So for me, I want to keep Crawford, and that's if I'm going fishing for a really big fish, right? So, one of these best players, top 25 type dudes in baseball. Yeah, I think a combo of Painter and Miller can maybe bring back something super duper significant that might not be on all of our sonar. I'm going to use sonar since I'm talking about
Sonar.
fishing.
I
Yeah.
love it. So Slim, I completely agree with you. I'm with you on Crawford because I think what happens is when the guys are closer to the big leagues, it's the sexier thing to pick the guy that's further away, right? So I love Crawford. I'm excited to see him up. Hopefully we get to see him up. Imagine we never get to see him. He gets traded.
That'd be crazy.
It would be crazy. So before we transition to Field of Love, we got a Red Sox fan in the chat here, Dilcor, and he said that Wheeler diced us up like a bunch of tomatoes last week. Everyone is still very afraid of him. Yeah, man. So we're spoiled with Wheeler, right? Anytime he has a couple rough starts in a row, everyone gets nervous. But yeah, Wheeler's still a Cy Young candidate basically every year. But let us transition here to feel the boy. What do we got going on here, guys? We got a technical difficulty. There we go. Let's just get to feel the love. We'll do it without the thing there. But yeah, so Feel the Love brought to you by Love City Brewing, our number one and our only brewing partner. So every single tailgate, all you see is us drinking Love City Lagers, right? Because they are our official tailgate sponsor. So who are you feeling the love for this week? Bones. I don't know what's going on. Our producer's slacking in the background.
Yeah. This week I'm feeling love for Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah.
I mean, he got his 1,000th hit this week, and it happened to be a home run.
Yep.
So Schwarber has been on fire since the home run derby. I guess that little spark up in him because he was falling a little off there before the All-Star break and coming back. I think he's got 7 homers, like 15 RBIs or something around there.
Right.
And he's just been this week putting the team on his back and letting it go. And up there, he's got 84 RBIs or something like that. And it's like he's on pace for more RBIs than he's been in the Phillies uniform. 100%. And we all know it's that contract year, man. So feeling love because he's going to be getting the bread. And they even got a shout out at the Savannah Bananas game last night, where they came out with a sign that says "Sign Kyle Schwarber, re-sign Kyle Schwarber."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slim. Who are you feeling the love for, brother?
Yo, mine has to be. It has to be Christopher Sanchez, man. If you're right now, I think his last outing he had 12 strikeouts. He leads our team in ERA. He's nothing but consistent. He's even taken big strides to be better on the road. We know what the splits were. He was dominant at home, not as good on the road. This year, he's a beast no matter where you put this dude. His wife's a nutritionist, got him in shape a little bit, he said. So I'm shouting out Christopher Sanchez. Yeah, he's jacked. He reminds me of, honestly, I don't like getting too crazy on hyperbole, but he reminds me of Randy Johnson. Okay, a little bit of Randy Johnson. That's all right. Like I think he reminds me of Randy Johnson.
Hyperbole.
Imagine. Well, long story short, if you looked at the Cy Young odds right now, it's still Skeens and Wheeler are basically splitting the vote. And if you know anything about elections and votes, right, the third party, if those two are going to be splitting each other, they might split it, and then Sanchez could come in, sneak up, and win. So where I think Skeens is about even, plus 125, something around there. Same thing for Wheeler. Sanchez is going to be plus like over. He's going to be plus 4,000, 8,000. I'm not sure what he's at now. The lines I'm seeing say $8,000, which seems ridiculous. $4,000, $8,000 I'm seeing on a couple sites here, which seems absolutely ridiculous. So that's what I would do if I had a couple shekels or carrots. I would throw them on Sanchez and enjoy the rest of this run, because don't be shocked. How the hell can Wheeler be ahead of Sanchez if he's not even the ERA leader? He's not the ERA leader on his team. and he's on a team that has Sanchez. I really don't think Wheeler's going to end up winning the Cy Young this year after being gun-ho on him about 6 weeks ago.
All right, Slim is cold on Wheeler now.
I love the 15 on Sanchez. What did you get the odds on? Because the odds are all over the place. Slim, believe it or not, got $50,000 worth of worse odds. I took the Marlins at plus 50,000 to win the National League pennant, and then somebody told me that they're plus 100,000 on another website.
I love it.
Which sucks. Which absolutely sucks to hear.
It does. All right, so my feel the love is for the former BCIB best catcher in baseball, has been playing like the best catcher in baseball lately, JT Realmuto. I mean, it's real. A lot of people wrote him off, right? They were saying he's dead, but he's been back from the dead, and he's been playing ridiculous, right? So we said right on this podcast that before the season even started, look, it might be in our best interest just to extend him now because of we don't know how the season's going to look, and let's just, there's not a lot of catchers out there, and he's been playing like a top 5 catcher right now. So, listen, I don't know if we're going to get this stretch the rest of the year, but even if we get 75% of this is phenomenal. So, let's show him some love.
Yo, I got to show some love to Bones, bro, because no matter who Bones picks, hold on, let me see. I can't even recall who Bones picked this
Is he
episode.
a mush?
No, it's the opposite.
You pick them the next week.
You pick them the next week. It's like 2 or 3 episodes in a row.
He's hitting homers. Homers.
Bones knows where I was going.
Marsh, Realmuto.
Well, hold on. The Marsh one was worse because I said I don't think he's ever been.
We didn't say it wasn't worse, but
yeah. The JT one at least he he deserves it back-to-back weeks.
Yes, JT and Schwarber absolutely deserve it. Absolutely.
There's only 9 guys on the field. We're going to get some repeats.
Dude, that home run the other night, man. As soon as it hit the bat, it was loud.
100%.
And he was throwing some weak ground balls all game until that ball.
So let's go to the chat a little bit here.
And what about his play today? Right, the Rojas catch and then coming home.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was this Phillies team is one of the most entertaining in sports, they are. I'm going to go back to it. They're one of the most entertaining team in sports. Think about the double slide. Think about Nick Castellanos getting benched, right, and then coming back and making that catch to end the game. That moment alone was enough to make a Phillies yearbook on.
Nick Castellanos, future Royal. A little bit of rumors going on around there about that. Imagine we ship him over to Kansas City.
Classic Nicky C game today, to where he hits a home run and then he's just terrible in the outfield. I think we probably won't do it, but I would like for him just to play the outfield at home, and then maybe if we could somehow have him DH on the road, but that seems like a luxury.
Yeah, that's not happening. So let's go to the next question that was submitted here, and this is a funny one here. So we've had questions like this in the past. This is actually targeting our tailgates. So what is your favorite lot to tailgate in, and what's your favorite place to sit in the bar? This is from Amanda. Slim.
So my favorite place to tailgate is, I gotta admit, I do like hanging out in K-Lot there. It's right there. It has the Eagles energy. It gets absolutely packed. But there's one downfall, especially when you start getting a bigger and bigger group. You can't control the music situation. You can't control the parking situation. So for those reasons, I gotta lean Jetro. But if I'm going with just a couple of people, I think K-Lot's fine. But yeah, the back lot, Jetro 1, K-Lot 2.
Jetro is Texas. If Jetro was a state, it would be Florida or Texas. There's basically free reign there. You're there, and it just feels like it's the Wild West. That's what I always say. But what do you got, Bones?
I'm going with K-Lot just to go against you guys. Especially, I'm a bigger guy, and that overhead thing keeps the heat out a little bit, so keeps the sun away. All for that. Good
point. It was so hot at our first one.
Yeah, and then we got to hop, skip, and a jump till you get into the ballpark to get that beer and not 20-minute walk from Jetro all the way in the back by 95.
100%. Yeah, no, you guys know where I stand on this. I'm a Jetro OG. I love it there. Couple good chat questions here. We got JR in the chat saying Painter and Crawford are the smart plays, but it's got to be Tyee.
Yeah,
We're going to
that's
mess
my
up.
guy.
We're going to mess up this JT situation, and we already are seeing how good Ohapi is in LA. Tyee is the real deal. Holyfield. Bones has been beating that drum for how long?
Did I use Real Deal Holyfield too?
I think you did.
Yeah.
I think you did.
I'm saying that Holyfield's making a comeback. It's like one of those Mandela moments. He's all over the place.
We don't need him fighting anymore. He just got knocked out by who was it? Vitor Belfort when he was like 65. We don't need him fighting anymore.
The catcher's not going to be up for 2 or 3 years. I don't think we're going to mess up the Remuto situation. I think earlier we probably could have signed him for somewhere between $8 to $11 million. Now maybe he's getting like 11 to 13 or something. But I still think we can get.
That's pretty accurate.
I still think we can get two. I wouldn't mind going 3 years because in that third year, then you really can bring that young buck catcher up, and then send Remuto off to the sunset. But here's the other curveball. Two big things. Local Jersey kid played at Coastal Carolina. He was a catcher. He just got drafted by the Baltimore Orioles, right? So their catcher, Roshman, is that how you pronounce it?
Adley Rushman.
Adley Rushman.
Rushman, he might be on the move. All right, because they just took a catcher in the first round who's college experience. We know these college players are coming to the majors faster now. So they might be looking to unload, especially since they're not the Baltimore Orioles of 3 years ago. They just aren't. So that's something. If I don't want Remuto and the other guy that we have in our system is too far away, that might be a big fish that we look at.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that would be. I would love that. They love him down in Baltimore, though. I'll tell you that. And then finally,
they had no. My understanding is they're having a really hard time pulling players into Camden Yards or pulling fans into Camden Yards these days. I'm hearing it's becoming a sad scene down there.
Well, I mean, of course. Have you seen what they're doing this year? Yeah, it's been ugly. So Joseph D in the chat saying, I don't want Kyle playing in the outfield. Leave him as a DH. If he gets hurt, we are done. I hear you, and I think the only way you do that, Joe, is if we get one of those big ones, obviously Suarez. So that's the biggest thing. Like I think if you get a Suarez, then you consider it. Are you guys in agreement there?
The only thing with Schwarber, and I can't, and I'm it's kind of in the back of my head, and I've kind of blacked it out. But we can't be having hard ground balls become doubles and triples because he's misplaying them or he's so slow to get to them. That happened too often, I feel like, when he was in left field previously. Plays that should be, they're nice hits. They're definitely singles. They're hard hits. Those ones can't become doubles when he's out there. If that's going to be happening routinely, then I agree. I'm not worried about the injury because, hey, man, we got to figure something. We're going all in.
We're going all in. And before we transition to Around the Corner, we got one more question. And I apologize to our sponsors. Our producer is going to be getting an earful from us. I don't know what's going on, but our some of our graphics aren't flowing today. But we'll bounce back. We'll make it up to you. So Slim, this one's for you, Slim. So for the viewers that are new, Slim does a segment on all of our socials where he's trying to find the best baseball bar in the city of Philadelphia. So you have a question here from Keith, Slim. What are some of the best baseball bars that you want to hit up in the future that you haven't hit up yet?
Oh, which ones haven't I hit up? So I got two backlogged that are going to be getting released soon, and some that I want to hit up. I want to hit up Maggie's up in the Northeast. I have yet to step foot up in the Northeast. I want to hit up Crickwater in the Brodesburg section, and I want to hit up Burnsies in the Port Richmond section. If you guys notice, that's kind of highly concentrated in that River Wars Northeast area. But if you know any other ones, give me a shout out. Stay tuned. We got two coming up. I just had a bunch of beers and enjoyed a game at Mifflin. I actually got a delicious martini there, the biggest martini I ever had.
Wait, I got coldest, and what was the other thing?
Strongest martini I ever had.
Yes.
So that's going to be the next review. So stay tuned for that. And then after that, I just went to, what was the one? Give me a second. Oh, I went to South Bowl. So
Yeah.
I've done a bunch of South Philly spots. I'm going to hit up the River Wards, the Northeast a little bit, and then from there, I need some suggestions. So they're my next three: Burnsies, Maggie's, and Crickwater.
Yeah, so thank you for that question, Keith. And Chad, if you guys have any suggestions of some bars that you've, in the Philly area, Buffalo Billiards, Shane R in the chat. So that's a nice one. Play a little pool and watch a game. Good call there.
What's the one in Tacony? What's the billiards room in Tacony? Maybe check that joint out.
Buffalo Billiards in Old City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not behind Devereaux Avenue.
No. Different vibe for sure. But let us transition here to Around the Corner. This is where Bones takes us around the corner, and tell us who this is brought to us by there, Bones. You have to explain it because we don't have the graphic.
Yep. As always, Around the Corner is sponsored by the Fresh Works of Port Richmond, located at Belgrade and in between Lehigh and Huntington there. Got to come down Belgrade. It's the only way you can get into it now with all these high rises coming in.
Yep.
But as usual, their deal ended the other day. If you didn't get one for Christmas in July, $50 gift card for just $35. That ended on Friday. But you could start using it next Friday for that Phillies Wall of Fame game. You can watch Jimmy Rollins and Ned Wade getting into the inducted into the Phillies Wall of Fame. Use that gift card. First day you can use it. As always, Sunday to Thursday, buy 2 halves, any hoagie, cheesesteak, get 1 free. Right? Today's Around the Corner, because it was today and we had a special back months ago, Hall of Fame weekend. And today was the induction ceremony. Of course, Dick Allen got in. We did the big podcast on that back. His wife delivered a great speech. Whole family was there. She has like 11 brothers and sisters. It was pretty cool seeing that.
Very
and
cool.
Then you had Dave Parker, who passed away a month ago. He also got in through that Veterans Committee that Dick Allen got in.
The Cobra.
His son delivered a great speech, and then Parker, I guess, knew his time was coming to an end, so he kind of wrote the speech as he was going, and he wrote a poem too. Wrote a poem too at the end, which was pretty cool. Talked about his time, like where he was, like each team he was at, and the player he was. And then, of course, it was CC, Billy Wagner, former Philly. He gave a couple shout-outs that I wasn't expecting. Mick Billmeyer, the old bullpen coach for the Phillies.
Yeah.
Who else did he shout out? Somebody else, too. Oh, Brad Lidge was in the stands there, out there with him. So that was pretty cool. Former Phillies great closer, right? And then the last one was Ichiro. So apparently Ichiro has been able to speak English this whole time. And he didn't do it after games and stuff because he had so much of a following from Japanese reporters. He didn't want to go back and forth. So he just used an interpreter or something like that. But he delivered an awesome speech today. And this dude's preparation is insane. Like, he talked about how none of these, like, managers, like equipment managers, he's the one that cleaned his cleats. He's the one that handled his gloves. So in case he made an error, it wasn't something faulty with the gloves.
Fully on him.
Cleaned his cleats, so in case he slipped and fell, it was on him. It's the preparation he has is awesome. And he called out the writer who didn't vote for him, for the lone writer didn't vote for him for the Hall of Fame.
Good for him.
He was saying how preparation, no matter if it was getting 3,000 hits, 262 hits in one season, it was all about like preparation. And but he said friggin' something, and like with getting the votes for the Hall of Fame, and he said except for that one person, and then he was like, your dinner invitation is officially expired. He offered him an invitation over to his house for a dinner.
Right.
And it expired. So it was pretty cool. He had some good jokes. Dude, he was drafted at like 17 years old. So he played baseball for like almost 30 years. Or
Probably what 43,
25 years.
retired?
Yeah,
Was it?
I think he
Yeah,
retires like 44 or something like that.
44, yeah.
Pretty
He's in-
crazy.
He's incredible.
As a Pete Rose fan, I got to draw the line when it talks about the hits and the other leagues. Pete Rose is still the hit king. And Bones, I got to. This podcast, we talk about Mike Trout. He's very polarizing. Hasn't done anything, right? Ichiro doesn't get that same slack, right? He had one great year. His rookie year, the team was awesome. Won a bunch of games. They got bounced from the playoffs. And after that, Seattle never did anything. He was never on a deep playoff team. Yada, 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 yada.
Well, he had more than one great year. You're saying as a team.
As his team. And when you talk about winning, okay, he was on the winningest team ever, and then never again. That's all.
Damn,
Yeah, but he played every year. Mike Trout
way
doesn't
to
play
shit
every
on
year.
Ichiro's parade, man. The guy got inducted to the Hall of Fame. You're gonna
Just because of Mike Trout, I'm sitting here listening to Bones. I wouldn't even make that point. I would never shit on his parade. But since Bones is not a Trout guy, I had to bring it up because he's sitting here waxing poetically about another career loser, basically.
Yeah.
And the real hit king was a career winner.
No, so it's great that you brought up parade because I didn't know like that. I knew they did like the Hall of Fame parade like the day before. I just thought it was like the players going in that year. They bring every player that comes back that weekend. They get their own like little car, little truck, and they're sitting waving. It's pretty cool. I thought it was just the players for that weekend that were inducted. Pretty cool. We got to get up there.
We got to get up there again.
I had
for
the
that
same,
weekend.
I had the same exact thought. Get the same place, go up for like a whole week, bet on a ton of baseball, and drink, hang by the lake, and then check out the inductions.
Yeah, Cooperstown's a special place, man. It's like I guess magical is the word, as cheesy as it sounds, right? You kind of get that feeling when you're up there. It's got that vibes. And Michael T in the chat saying Trout is a Hall of Famer right now. I tend to agree with you on that one, Mike.
And you
got to keep. Yeah, but he shouldn't be.
Devo
and he's old juice.
We can actually do our charity home run derby up there too.
That's a great idea. Logistically might be tough, but I'm all in on that. That's a great idea. All right, speaking of charity home run derby.
Not this year.
Oh, in the future. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In the future.
So stay on that theme there, Slim, because Josh asked us, hey, Red Corner, when you guys played baseball, what position did you play? So I'll start off with me. I was a second baseman and center fielder. Typically were my primary ones. Thank you for asking, Josh. Yeah, so we do talk about ball, but we played ball as well. Who are you, Bones? Talk about some of your positions.
So back in my early days, as a young kid, I was third baseman and CYO pitched, and then once we got to high school, played the outfield.
That's right. And Slim the slugger.
Primary played first base, but truth be told, I played all the positions besides never really pitched, and my catching debut was a disaster, so I never really caught. But
catching's tough.
I played third, shortstop, left field, right field, center field. I remember Bones will tell you my first game at shortstop. I got that one relay throw in the outfield, and I gunned out the legendary
Blue.
No, it was John Owens.
John Owens, yeah.
It was a much better athlete than Blue, please.
Holy in, was it Holy in that we played?
And you were catching. How often did you catch back then? So that just tells you. It was inning by inning. We had a weak team, so we had a lot of holes to plug.
That must have been a Sunday game. If I was catching.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Those were the days. And, yeah, speaking of second base, that was to kind of tie it into a question earlier. That's why I'm kind of partial to Escobar, our top 5 prospect, man, because it seems like this guy is like a potential – he's built like a fullback, number one, and he's kind of got like maybe 20, 25 home run power. So I'm loving Escobar. I'm hoping he can kind of pan out to something if he doesn't get traded.
Has some Franco vibes, and Franco has been the answer to every quiz question, I feel like, this week. It's hilarious. It's like all these great players, and it's Franco with every answer. It's awesome.
Yeah, but we were talking crap on the level of difficulty, and then they, like you said, Bones, they must have heard you because that was a tougher one the other day.
Yeah, Friday night, that was a good one.
Okay, so we have one more question here, but let's wait until after Slim-Pick-Ems.
Ooh,
So who do
let's
you
get
got,
into it.
man?
All right, let's jump right into it. So, believe it or not, this week I had a lot of people reach out to me, a lot of people questioning what the hell Slim's doing. All right. Well, if you think I'm betting, if you think I'm gambling, you're way off. All right. I'm manipulating the board, right? I'm not chasing my wins. I'm just seeing where there's value. There's value in baseball because one, there's a gazillion opportunity. They play every single day. Okay. So stop thinking negatively and calling it chasing because it's not that. Second, the value's good with the away teams. We see it with the -1.5. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Take it or leave it. Yeah, we had some bad beats. All right. But if one or two other games go the other way, we're way up the other way. All right. And the third thing is simple, it's the capital. If you don't have it, don't bet it. All right. Be responsible. This segment is sponsored by D Town Dental and Warminster Dental Associates. Okay, they don't want to have to fix your busted teeth for any reasons. All right, they're smiles above the competition, just like Slim and the S&P 500 is miles above the competition. So no more talking about that. It's not chasing. Okay, I'm done answering questions about Slim. All you do is chase. All you do is chase. All right, I'm done answering questions. Let's get to what the meat of the juice is. All right. Tomorrow, Monday, we actually got a double header. We're starting early. We're taking the Blue Jays -1. All these are -1.5. All these are 1 unit. Blue Jays -1.5. They're going to be +142. The Dodgers -1.5. They're going to be -110. The Cubs are going to be +158. The Phillies -130. So you're laying 1.3 units there, okay, to bring back 1 unit. We're going to take the Miami Marlins. They're the hottest team in baseball right now. We're taking the Marlins at +168, -1.5. And the last but not least, we're taking a Hulk Hogan Tampa Bay Rays, baby. They just had a brutal series in Cincinnati, but they're going to bounce back this time. So we're going to take the Rays. They're going to be +164. So in recap, all 1 unit, all -1.5. Blue Jays, Dodgers, Cubs, Phillies, Miami, Rays. That's a 6-pack, okay? Remember, opportunity, value, capital. If not, don't get involved. This is brought to you again by D-Town Dental and Warminster Dental Associates. They are smiles above the competition, okay? Let's see those choppers.
There you go, baby.
All right, that's where Bones takes his kids.
I love it, and I love saying it. They are smiles ahead of the competition. Thank you to our sponsors.
Once again, I buried the lead for good reason. Slim's record is 111 and 207 for -21.4 units. But no worries. Once October comes, we'll be up 100 units. You ain't got to worry about that.
Slim is an August better. Everybody knows that. He's going to get hot in August. He's going to get hot. So I wanted to kind of quickly talk about what we have coming. Chat, it's been a lot of fun. We love these mailbags. We kind of get asked to do them a lot, and we got to do them more often. So chat, keep the questions coming. But if you're still here, please hit that like and please subscribe because you guys know it helps. It helps the algorithm. We're battling all the other people out there, so please do that. It helps. But I teased this in the beginning of the episode here, and we have a very exciting couple weeks coming up. So the next 5 or 6 series, we got the White Sox, we got the Tigers, Orioles, Rangers, Reds, and then we have the Nationals. The Nationals, not only are the Phillies playing the Nationals in D.C., but it's also the Red Corner will be in D.C., and it's also Slim's bachelor party weekend. So we're all going to celebrate Slim, who's getting married in the fall, in D.C., and we will be at least, 1 or 2 games that weekend, Slim?
Yeah, we got to figure it out. I think the primary game is going to be Friday night.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Slim, I'm up at all hours of the night. I wake up early. I woke up and I got a text from my best man, my brother, and he said, yo, a lot of guys want to do the Saturday 4 p.m. game. And I'll tell you what, I almost punched a goddamn hole through my wall when I heard that. I'm like, I'm not going to be out there in the sun. That's a terrible vibe. I want to be the sun coming down, nice
we'll get a
and
suite,
cool.
Man.
Either be in the suite or be out in section 121 and where the old school home run patrol people. I'll bring my like I said, I'm bringing a glove. I don't give a shit. I'm bringing a glove and I'm catching a ball. All right.
You're not
I'm gonna
bringing
have
the glove.
I'm not
yeah,
bringing a glove.
that's
I don't. I gotta go buy.
You'll be
a
by
glove.
yourself.
He's bringing a glove. He doesn't give a shit. I'm not bringing a glove.
Dude,
That was quick.
the last glove I had. I think, unfortunately, I think I think one of my mom's ex-boyfriends actually took my old baseball glove. He took it for ransom a long time ago, and I never got it back.
That's
So.
he knew that was going to be worth money someday, so he took
Yeah,
that glove.
seriously.
First baseman's mitt.
If you're listening, I want the glove back.
100%. So if you guys have any suggestions for DC bars, DC whatever, food, hit us up because we're going to be down in DC in the red corner. You know, we take our ball games very seriously, so please give us some suggestions because it's going to be a great weekend, and I can't wait.
We're staying in Capitol Hill, so we're going to be in the middle of where the action is at. Please let us know.
Please let us know.
You guys got to let me know what we want to do because I'm down to do the game Friday. If we want to sneak in a second game, that second game can be a small group on Thursday or anyone that wants to hang out on Sunday. I think Saturday we slow roll it. If some dudes want to go golf, if some dudes want to, do some tours, some free museum stuff, slow roll Saturday. We hit the bars hard Saturday night. Friday's the baseball game. Thursday and Sunday the swing days.
100%.
Sunday's 11:35 game.
Hey, I got work. I got my first day at work the next Monday, so I go back to school the next day.
That's a 4-game series too.
Yeah.
Bones, close it down here with on this day in Phillies history, please. What do you got for us? Anything?
Dude, we didn't have much. The only thing was, and of course I forgot to check the year it was, but it was Jim Bunning and Sandy Koufax battling it out. The game won 11 innings. They combined for 17 strikeouts in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They won 11 innings. Both pitched 9 innings. Didn't get the win. But I forget what year it was. I forgot to screenshot it before I checked it out. But other than that, it was a slow day. Slow day in Phillies history.
That's fine.
A little shocking. Because you would expect all these July and August days to have at least something.
Yeah.
100%. All right, so what can you expect? The unexpected, right? These next 2 or 3 days can get pretty crazy pretty quick, right? We got the trade deadline, the 31st. Our intention is to give you at least, we're going to go live on Thursday, the trade deadline. We're going to be hanging out. Hopefully we got some news to break. We also are going to have another volume of our trade deadline series. We have volume 1 and 2. If you haven't checked that out, go check that out. It's a series we built on. So go check that out. And please, if you're still here, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for hanging out. Go Phils, and we will see you guys soon.
See everybody.